Hey everyone, Light Brawler here once again, and we are back for another fun times in Hooked on You. Last time we got friend zoned by Trapper, and that was a very unfortunate experience to deal with, but what can you do? Sometimes your answers and your choices matter, and then in the end it's like, well, it wasn't enough to actually secure the win. But it is what it is, not every we can't win like every single one of them, but we are going to do Spirits Route next, and then next time we're gonna do Wraiths Route at the end. But I do apologize in advance that I originally wanted to cover both routes today, but I just wasn't 100%. So I just figured, we'll go on ahead and actually just continue doing Spirit Suite for the time being. So we'll actually go to the lounge and let's have a time. Finally, freedom from the preposterous premise that the four of us would be engaged in some sort of thrilling 2-on-2 volleyball match. Spirit looks at you from beneath her gigantic sun hat. She takes a conspirational tone. I don't know whose idea volleyball was in the first place, but I hate them. I tried to fake this sprained ankle, but everyone already knows I technically float above the ground, so no one believed I was even putting any pressure on my joints in the first place. Then I tried to annoy everyone by not giving a crap, and when that didn't work, I tried whining, and then when that didn't work, I threatened to kill every single person on this island. But it turns out I'm not the first to toss those kinds of threats around on this island. So, thanks, I guess, for getting it called off. Are we threatening at each other again? Now it's Dwight who takes on the conspirational tone, his eyes shifting as he slips into a loud whisper. Please, just make it quick. Is what you'll be saying when we get behind the art to make the drink of your dreams. Ah! Hilarious, right? Right, Dwight? Yeah, right. So, what'll you be having? Vodka, soda, sangria, scotch, seltzer, virgin daiquiri. I didn't come here to party. I'm just trying to make the best of a very strange situation. I don't know. How about a daiquiri? I don't know how to make that. I know how to make that. But skip the liquor. I'll have mine virgin. Trapper snicks at your choice of words. Sure you will, kid. Don't mind him. We don't need to soak ourselves in booze just to please someone else's expectations. If you ask me, there's enough spirits here already. Besides, alcohol just numbs you to the painful realities of the world. I choose to face them head on. You never do something like that! I don't know, hide from all the world's largest hat or anything. Please allow me to ignore my fashion advice from the man wearing a doll's face as a mask. Not a doll's face, jerk! Since we've fulfilled your request, it's time for you to return the favor. I should have known there was a catch. Icebreaker time! I swear, had I known like all this kind of thought that enthusiastic community building crap, I'd suggest we attempt to walk to the lowest point of the ocean before I ever set foot near this bar. You don't think it could be kind of fun? A little fun? Never mind, I hate it. This sucks, but it could be fine, or whatever you say. Has anyone seen my hat? I've literally never seen him in a hat. If we must make small talk, I'm at least picking a topic before we end up being forced to do some lame improv game that nerds learn in their non-sports after-school activities that I definitely never did because I'm no nerd. Methinks a certain someone doth protest too much. Sitting here on this beautiful sunny afternoon, warm standing beneath the cool fog beneath my severed feet. The topic I choose is books, novels, comics, fiction or not. Reading is the only real escape from the escapable horror of life. The escape into your own mind. A groan rose through the crowd. Not a lot of readers here, I'd mentioned. Based on that response, they were much more enthusiastic about drinking. Considering the situation we're in, it seems an appropriate time to ask you, what's your favorite desert island book? The one you'd bring with you if you were, well, on an island this. Oh, and it has to be classic horror, for the reasons that should be obvious. She means this because this is an island of horror villains, and also all those books are in the public domain. Nothing too modern. Humanity's really gotten south these past 100 years. So what's your favorite? Dracula, Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or books? No thanks. Let's go with Dracula. Dracula's one classic that's still scary. To be seduced by some stranger only to learn they're on an immortal villain. It's downright... Darling? Well, I guess what I was going to say... Despite the deviant behavior of Dracula, and the threat of possible danger or even death that he poses, you can't help but get turned on by the liberation from the status quo that he represents. Same here. So what if some old doctor says he's a bad boy? You're supposed to reek like garlic and sleep alone? Who do they think would buy into that? If you're going to be trapped in a nightmare that is undead life eternal, which I know is a little something about, you can do a lot worse than great clothes, a castle, and a lover who doesn't take shit from anyone. The scariest part of Dracula is thinking that no one will ever be quite as interesting to make love as a vampire. Enough about these old stories that belong to someone else. I think it's time to make up some new stories of our own. Before you know what's going on, Huntress is waving an empty vodka bottle in the air, a devilish twinkle in her half-masked covered eye. Might I suppose a little naughty? Let's all get in circle and spin this bad boy. Great idea. Trickster, isn't it a bit late to introduce a new character? I thought I was the one that gets to make the rules, so I'm not sure who's asking. But I wasn't ready for this. Well, hello. And who's this new fan in waiting? Hack! I don't know. What's the harm of inviting one more person to join the circle for our game? Oh, I can't stay. It was just saying it was a great idea. Also teasing the secret trickster. I've got much better things to do than hang out here. I'm famous. Toodaloo! The rules are simple. First you spin, then you swap. Spit, that is. But let's be clear, this ain't a peep show. We're here to have a good time, but in a classy way. All makeouts will happen out of the view of the public eye. Real romantic light. Yes, romance is the goal, so we'll all be waiting here in complete silence trying to listen and to use our imaginations while you make out on the other side of the bar, but not watching. Like adults. Romantic, well-adjusted adults. You're up! You grip the bottle in your hand and put your fate in your hands of the empty bottle gods. Oh boy. This here's a special minigame, perfect for the lesson because there's no winning or losing. Alright, let's go. Spin the bottle and see who you're gonna smooch. You got raped. You two are meant to be. Psych, you have to spin multiple times to get your real result. 3 times is your true match. That's how we play hardcore spin the bottle. Now get your spin on. You got Trapper. That's the second one for Wraith. Ooh. Just this morning, you woke up on a strange beach surrounded with strangers with murderous intent. Now you're looking across a beach towel with Wraith. His lesson is a sweat glistening on his skin. Your heart races. You can feel pulse pounding in your ears. Wraith takes you by the hand and sits you to a private section of the bar. He begins to reach you, putting his hands on your shoulders. You're sweaty, but not in the sexy way he is. You're sweating in the gross way, and you sweat at the interview job you're not even remotely qualified for. You don't want to do. If you try to lock lips in this state, you might gross him out, but he'll completely not be able to look at you romantically again. Wraith, we. Look, you're great, but also terrifying. You just steal your line. I want to be kissing you, but, well, maybe I'm not sure how. Is that sad? Great, now I look sad. Well, if the tropical shorts fit. You make me happy to be around. I think. It's still so new, all this. We can figure it out together. Really? Really, I'd like to get... And the kissing sounds great, in theory. I'm sure it doesn't sound, pink. So then, for now, we're acquaintances going on friends, going on lovers. I'm sorry. Great handshake, by the way. Really? Truly. I hate to break up such a passionate moment. That we only assume that it was passionate because we never spy on you constantly while you stay on this island. But dinner's being served right away, and you must insist that you join us. We wouldn't want anyone dying of starvation. Well, there's so many interesting things to die from. Oh boy, it's like... means, of course, everybody wanting to sit next to everybody. Alright. Okay, time to, like, get our cut on. We're just skipping this stuff because, you know, we've already done it twice. Oops. Oh, God. That missed completely. But I hit... That was pretty good. I'd like to see what you can do with a less clumsy weapon. Yeah, I said it. Machetes are dumb. For real. Spirit, why aren't you hungry? The two best things about being dead are not having to eat. That's only one thing. Think about it. Number two, there's no number two. One less thing to think about in the afterlife. Even if I wanted to eat, I have no idea where it would actually follow. You might have noticed, but I'm mostly just a bunch of dismembered body parts floating in spectral form. You see how deep this cavern? I don't think my digestive tract connects anymore. Well... Keep on going, we already know how to actually, You wake up to find Spirit holding your limp body, gingerly pouring cool water into your mouth. Don't you just love the ocean at night? I do. Staring out to the vast darkness of the ocean really validates the feelings inside me that we're all truly insignificant, and the only thing worth pursuing is revenge! I have to wonder, how could anyone believe anything else? You look out into the darkness of night and ponder her question. Well, it's a simple question. How could they? How could anyone not feel small and alone in of such massive nothingness? Maybe in Spirit's words, maybe it's the ocean. Maybe it's always been this way. But you suddenly feel connected to Spirit's words. I may not remember much about before, but there's the one thing I know to be true. I've always been alone. And I always will be alone. Spirit has turned from looking at the ocean as looking directly at you now. It's a funny idea, isn't it? Being alone. Together? It's the best we can hope for. Maybe. Or maybe it's too much to hope for. Maybe it's impossible to pretend we know anything. Is that just arrogance? I was so dumb. So busy trying to please everyone, be the perfect student, the perfect employee, the perfect daughter. I didn't take care of myself. And now I'm all I got. Worst of all, I got distracted from my true purpose, my destiny, the purpose that was sitting inside me my whole life. Okay, so this might sound a bit silly, but... Spirit looks around to see if there's anyone else on the beach. When she's convinced that it's only you two, she continues. There's a dragon that lives inside me. I've always known, but I've tried to ignore it. When I couldn't ignore it, I tried to push it down. I'm so stupid. You're not stupid, that sounds badass. Right? Then I didn't let it out, and then, you know, chop chop, and now that dragon is pretty much a one-track revenge piece. But enough about me. What's inside of you, stranger? I'd kill to have a dragon. Maybe not the best choice of words. I mean, a dragon sounds awesome. Honestly, though, I don't feel like I got anything inside me at all. Just darkness. Never-ending darkness. Okay, Riku from Kingdom Hearts, that's literally what he would have. And here I thought Spirit was the biggest goblin in the asylum until you arrived. Perhaps I could light a torch and search through that darkness. Just as things are really heating up, you see a flurry of footsteps behind you, and you quickly spin around, ready to fend off whatever new danger this has popped up on this strange island. Only to find out it's Dwight and Claudette sprinting across the beach, clipboards in hand, which they are waving in the air above their heads. It's very important that we stick to the itinerary, bitch! You have not done this correctly! And attend every event is scheduled as correctly. Playing stick for cute floor points was not a part of this evening's activities. That's strictly slotted in for after campfire story time. At this rate, we'll be late. Playing sick? No, I was... No time for excuses. Well, there is, but that's scheduled for after. What comes after the party? Go, 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 go! We're being ushered. We're not gonna blame anyone, but we clearly know it's the main character, and they're the ones not sticking to the schedule. That means we're behind on activities, again. And we'll only have one time for one person to share their spooky nighttime story. It's like, has anything ever happened on schedule even once? No. Well, we're picking Spirit. I choose you, Spirit! Really? You want to hear from me? Spirit huffs and dramatically rolls her eyes as she gets her feet in front of the campfire. Don't let her talk you out of it. She's great with ghost stories. I don't know where she gets it, but she comes up with the scariest stuff. Seriously disturbing even to me. I could literally pull a guy's skull and spine at once with my bare hands. Talk about bullshit stories. If everyone else is going to chit-chat, I guess I can sit down now. Huntress's eyes go red behind her mask, and both Trapper and Wraith take her seats. They know when it's worth fighting and when it's not. Well, I hate to break it to you, but tonight's story isn't scary. It's a romance. Too late now, though. I was selected, and so I'm going to tell my story. I call it The Prisoner's Kiss. You notice that Huntress and Wraith are both sharing a giant tub of popcorn. Nobody offered you popcorn. It was a dark summer night. Warm rain seeped from the sky like blood from an old wound. Detective Hoda, the celebrated investigator and renowned hostage negotiator, was called into the scene of a strange occurrence unlike anything she had ever seen before. When she arrived, the scene was chaotic. Crowds had begun to gather. A dozen other officers were doing everything they could to keep the curious onlookers away. But how could anyone resist wanting to know more? For there, in the middle of a busy market, had appeared a giant box. Strange, alien in its appearance and massive in size. No one knew how it got in there. Was it delivered? Built on site? In such a busy area, how could something like this just appear? A mystery, as if it were conjured by magic. But this was no illusion. The huge box was real, and someone was trapped inside. Spirit pauses her story to look from face to face for each one. She has no expression. But you feel her vibrating with energy. She is in her element. Help me! Cried someone inside the box. It was a man, terrified, trapped, imprisoned. His voice trembled. By now it was every detective in the city was there, looking at this strange structure up and down, inspecting on every side. It didn't make sense. There were no doors, no windows, no fasteners or seams. It was completely solid, and much too heavy to move by hand. Solid, that is, except for a single small slit, just enough to see the bloodshot eyes of the prisoner trapped inside. I don't know what happened. I woke up and here I was so scared. Please help me, cried the man as if fleeing for his life. No stranger to tense situations, Detective Hoda confronted the man. She used her training to calm him and buy time for other investigators. However, time did not bring clarity, only anxiety, as the night dragged on with no progress of opening the box. And as the night grew longer, the seeping rain puddling on the ground, the man said more desperate, more sad and lonely, more pathetic, and in need of help. But Detective Hoda was no help at all. Powerless to save him, guilt began to weigh on her, like it never had before. Don't let me die in here, the man begged. Do not let me die alone. Stay calm, instructed Detective Hoda. You're not alone. I'm here. Hell, half the town is here. We're all in this together and won't let this be the end of your story. Looking through the narrowest passage, Detective Hoda watched her own reflection in the tear-filled eyes of a strange, sad person. Together they both wept in silence at the hopelessness of this moment. Promise? Asked the man. Promise that I'm not alone? Yes, she promised. I do. A simple pledge. She felt an instant connection like she had never felt before. That's her family, not to her friends, not to any of the other hostages that she had worked so hard to free before. And so, when the man's eyes closed and backed away, it didn't scare Detective Hodder, for she knew he would return. And he did, pressing his lips upon the narrow slit into the horrible puzzle box, repeating his question again, steam flowing from his mouth as he asked, "Promise? Promise that I'm not alone?" "Yes," she promised, "I do." And pressing her palms against the cold outside of the box without truly knowing why, Detective Hodder leaned forward and placed her own lips upon the opening, letting her breath creep into the strange structure, allowing her warm lips to fall on this man's. It was a gentle kiss, a moment of compassion. She could feel in this brief contact the beating of her heart, pulsing through every inch of her body, matched beat for beat in the soft touch. "Thank you," said the man. No trace of fear remaining in his voice, and he backed away into the darkness, disappearing in a single moment of eerie calmness. "Get back!" yelled an officer, suddenly thrusting himself between Detective Hoda and the box, breaking a silence that would soon be a cacophony of whirring gears and clacking latches, a symphony of mechanical activity happening all at once. Something had triggered, as if an unseen lever pulled, and the side of the giant box began to slide open. Detective Hoda gripped her flashlight tightly and pushed forward into the foggy interior of the giant box. Her feet splashed in the puddled rainwater, her heart racing as she swept her light from side to side. And that's when her eyes landed on man, or at least landed on what should have been him. There in the corner of the box was a pile of pieces, like parts of a doll, almost pulled apart, or perhaps that's just how Detective Hoda had to think of him in that moment to survive. A collection of segments, limbs, pieces, disconnected from one another, cleanly severed and piled into placed in a neat little pile. And atop that pile, a head, cold, pale, eyes open, lips an icy blue. Spirit stares into the fire, her own expression lifeless. Her lips flew, tears fall from her chin and soak into the sand at her feet. You're blown away by the story, and it's safe to say you're not alone. Everyone else is looking into the fire up in the sky, anywhere but Spirit. It was you who chose her. You initiated this harrowing tale. It was so sad, so creepy, so sensual. She really went into great detail when constructing that kiss. Too much detail, and no one sure to act. Dwight and Claudette are staring daggers at you. You have to do something. This game wasn't supposed to be a romp. Please, I said do something. You stand in without saying anything, approach Spirit, reaching your arms around her for a hug. Her robe, hovering in the air, begins to wrap around you, and you squeeze into her. It's kind of like being hugged back, but it's also being tied up. It's certainly not what you expected. Instinctually, you pulled yourself away, but it's an awkward moment, and you nearly fall over into the fire. Spirit says nothing, floats away without much as a goodbye. You realize that everyone had just watched this truly strange interaction from the corners of their eyes. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up for a bit so they can all have a moment alone before bed. Everyone leaves and you're alone behind the fire. This is nice. A moment of peace and tranquility that lasts for all 7 seconds because Trickster shows up. Oh boy, Trickster. I know you've been hearing from these guppies all day, but I want you to hear something from a big fish like me. Something special that those in charge in this island don't want you to hear. I am the ultimate catch of this island, the only lobster in an ocean of sardines. No one can give you what I can. You just have to find me. Come find me, baby. You know, I was watching you while I told my story. I could tell I was having an effect on you. This fog of walls, I could feel you breathing heavily, taking me in. You and I are both absolutely flabbergasted about that piece of information. Legit, you could learn something new every day, and when you're a god, I mean narrative. You're doing it again right now. You need to calm down. You should come in the hot tub with me. Dipping in the hot tubs with Spirit, you come in one day. Just don't forget a little talk. You and your storyteller friend slip into the water. It's the right temperature for an evening dip. I just want to be totally clear. Even though that story bore some similarities to my life, it was not about me in any way, shape, or form. Not symbolically, not metaphorically, not of any other ically. I believe you completely sure. You were cut to pieces in life, and so was the person in that story. A perfectly normal coincidence. Sure, you're on this island, trapped, one might say, in the most puzzling place. Also, a completely irregular coincidence. And sure, his lips are blue, your lips are blue. Really? You call this blue? Searching for answers, hoping to find revenge. Okay, so similar stuff there, I guess. Coincidences. Sorry, the coincidences. Get this through your head, whoever you are. Samurai blood runs through my veins. Or, well, maybe it's coagulated by now. No need to sweat the details. Regardless, I'm a descendant of noble warriors. Thousands of years of training with lady weapons preceded my entrance into this world. Do you know how many swords that is? A lot. You gotta figure that with that many sharp edges, a person is bound to get disconnected from a body part here and there. The truth is, and I wouldn't typically share this, so don't go blabbing about it. I dreamt that story like watching a movie in my sleep when I was just a little girl, years before my father sunk his blade into my skin. I'd never been able to shake it. That's a very adult story for a child to dream. Do you believe me? Who says I believe in anything? And for that matter, who even cares about anything? Our beliefs are our business, no one else's. I'll be. That's a strong take. You gotta cultivate your own garden. I just admire you. You're not offering up your thoughts simply to feed the curiosity of others, like some of the more desperate residents of our little paradise. Good for you, I'd say. Now you've got me wondering, do I believe you if I believe her or not? And if I know everything, because trust me, I do know everything. Don't I already know the answer to my own question if I believe your answer to Spirit's question? Whoa. Ocean air got me tripping. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract us both. What's important is that a certain corpsey cutie floating in a cloud of magical mist might still be waiting for you to say the right thing and free her from her puzzle box if you believe that she is the... Damn it, got me going again. Unfortunately, before you could follow this conundrum to be sure mind-numbing cycle of new questions, you find certainty standing before you with a fresh towel ready to dry you off. Sorry, kids, but it's time for bed. I might be the youngest one here, but I'm no kid. I do, however, love being wrapped in a fresh, clean towel. My mother used to help me wash my hair when I was young. She'd come out all the tangles and tie a ribbon around me before sending me on my way. I miss her. You watch as Spirit stares up into the distance, her hair gripping in tight fists. She doesn't notice you're watching her at first. When she catches you looking, she turns away, roughly grabs a towel from Dwight, and then pushes him and Clyde aside as she floats off. Alright. Time to, play the music.
Let's talk about our community. For us, it means two major things. First of all, the community.
Alright, time to summon Spirit to the fire. Spirit, are you around? I was wondering if I could get a little company. Spirit tells you her secret for falling asleep when she's feeling restless. I like to listen to flute music, dab on some essential oils, and steam my pores. Really? What? Even the dead like to relax. I don't really have any of those things around. Spirit reaches out and presents with you a unique item. It's a small comb carved from bamboo. I guess you can hold on to this. It was a gift from my mother. I will want it back, though. And if you lose it, well... You'll get your revenge on me? If it's the last thing I do. You finally start to feel sleepy, except it's not really sleepy. Oh boy. The human body is made of 60% water. Did you know that? Of course you did. Even amnesiac video game protagonists know that. Trapper is now sitting beside you, sketching a portrait. Oh, you're awake! I saw you with the Spirit right before bedtime. You should know they're not what they seem. Not like me, who's obviously completely more honest and trustworthy. I was checking out to make sure you weren't sleeping near one of my... Actually, never mind. Just careful where you sit. Since up here, I'd like to share two things with you. One, I do not take rejection well. Two, the first thing is very important to remember. Were you drawing me? Trapper doesn't answer. You aren't drawing stink lens radiating out from me, are you? Still nothing for Trapper. Look, I'm not an easy guy to get along with, but an easy guy to spend time with. That will make sense if you choose to spend time with me tomorrow. The rest of the scum live like rats. They wouldn't know a good time if they'd been on the ass. Ain't not there, really. Point is, if you select me for a day of luxury, it's sharp fun. Yes, I said fun. And if I don't pick you, remember what I said earlier, it might be the last thing you'll ever forget. But hey, you look tired. Get some rest. Maybe you'll even sleep well if you can. Just try not to roll over the, about 15 feet to your left. Oh boy, reality show confessional time. Look, I'm full of rage. The key is showing how much rage you can use it. I'm the master of self-control, and right now I'm using all the self-control I can muster because today was a disaster. Let's just say I didn't love it. That was funny. Laugh, I said, laugh, damn it. Anyway, I'm planning to kill this idiot. Don't tell them though. I want them to lead him on a little more. It will make that much more better when they're screaming. Yeah, today was fun. I didn't want to get ahead of myself, really. That's something that might hurt me, so I don't know. Maybe we'll just see how it goes, or maybe they'll realize I'm not the one for them. They seem pretty smart, so that'll probably be what happens. I gotta learn to go easy. Who can love me if I can't love myself? I know that everyone thinks of me as a beautiful, color-blooded monster. I can't help it. Circulation just isn't my thing. I don't choose to be cold. This you happen real. Okay, those are our choices, sure. If someone were to come around and capture my heart, at least that beats being stabbed in it. Besides, I'm going to get bloody revenge on the society that used me and thrown me away. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to have a little help. No boy, it's now round 2. It's tricks with coffee. Really fake coffee. Budgeting issues. Also, I'm swamped with engagements, especially on the other island. No, wait, don't drink that! They don't call him Trickster because he's good on a skateboard, and he definitely didn't get the name because he brings people drinks so they can have a good morning. It's time to actually be like... This is not Parliament, and the floor does not recognize the ocean to speak out of turn. Are you trying to tell me to say... Sorry, we should have been here 5 minutes ago. They always do this on the second morning. Sad, really. Even if they do make some great points. Oh, sure, they make great points. I agree. Let's move on. Yes, I'm not at all suspicious. There's a no option here. What an encouraging response. And we're so glad you're not suspicious. Hey, Claudette, maybe Light isn't suspicious because they figure out what they're actually doing here. 0 chance they're still clicking even right now to see how you'll respond. Hey, look at that. Yeah, they don't know anything. It doesn't matter though. We're so happy to hear you're having fun. We're all having fun. You hear us? We're all having fun. We don't need to ask you. We do need to ask you. Perfect. Delightful. Excellent. Yes. Yes. It's... Alright. It's time for breakfast. Now everyone wants to, Something's not right. Did anyone especially feel cold last night? Not in the technically dad sense, but I don't know, some other sense? It's like, for the first time in a long time, I felt the sun yesterday, and then it went away. I didn't like it. Oh boy. Oh hey, that was fun yesterday. I mean, too much fun. That would be weird, but like a good amount of fun. Damn, what a power play. You hear that? Well, yeah, I guess. You're the only other person around here. It's coming from the pool shed. Claudette, stick it in here. No. There. How's that feel? Intense. Nice. Yeah, that feels right. Now I want you to take that and... Yeah! Oh, wow. Now you know what I'm talking about. Exactly. Oh boy. Damn it! A little privacy, please. I didn't know how to let you know that I'm here and I could hear you, you know. No, what? What do you think we're doing? We're doing, I don't know exactly. It sounded like, fun? You think two people finding new ways to kill each other and just search to make their own death permanent is fun? Oops. We get 5 minutes to ourselves every day, and we spend it hoping to stab each other in just the right spot so we won't get resurrected. I've come to believe that the finding the exact place we need to bleed out from, and I believe that it's in our appendix. Why else would it be there? Makes sense to me. Did you actually think we were doing it? You don't have to laugh that hard, they get it. My life is a nightmare, and yet it's never been worse than right now. Let's go, lover boy. I know that all our intrudes and our 5 minutes up this anyways. Good luck, you're gonna need it. And hey, if you figure out to escape this island, please make sure that your ghost tells us how. I want to be on a date with me. Who would make the first move? Hey babe. Breakfast was weird. Everyone just getting up announcing how they're feeling. What's that about? Some forced kind of checking with the group? I don't like it. Fishy. Kinda lazy. Whatever though, breakfast is dumb. No one should eat before noon or after 4 p.m. He's a psychopath. We don't have to give him anything. These people will not leave you alone. Oh, it's Spirit. That checks out. You two have gotten pretty cozy. We should get out of here. I know of a place that brings a bit of welcome darkness to this tropical nightmare. Best of all, I'm the only one that seems to know about it, so we won't be bothered there. I don't even know what I'm telling you. It's my private spot. I guess I got a feeling you'll appreciate it in the way I do. Not like those other killers. They don't get me. But I'll get them. Oh, I'll get them, and I'll get my father too. And I'll punish him for what he did to my mother and me! Spirit radiates a menacing orb, waving her sword around as she threatens, well, the entire universe. It's scary, and more than a little hot, if you get turned around by menacing. Look, all this time murder science got both a little confused about things. I'm choosing to lean into it. Yeah, I suggested you the same. You've seen her get mad, which is probably not just getting into complaints, but you've also seen that there's a more sensitive side hiding with her. Which one do you think will win out? You consider her offer, but before you decide to go off with Spirit, the Huntress interjects. I guess you could go off with Spirit today. She seems pretty cool, actually. I think if we weren't here on this island vying against each other for your attention, we might actually be friends. We might have something, though, you and I. I couldn't let you go off to your goth lighthouse without speaking up first. Yeah, I know her secret spot. I've seen everything through the little holes of this adorable mask. So my offer stands. We can still hang out today. Plenty of room in the cabin. Wink, wink. It's pretty cute that Huntress thinks she has to say wink wink out loud. That mask barely hides her face. Tough choice. You have to weigh your options quickly because you can only go on one thing today, and you also don't want to be hacked to pieces for saying the wrong thing. I gotta go with Spirit. You've made the correct decision. But know this, just because you picked me doesn't mean I'm going to slobber all over you like a dog, understand? Well, of course, you've still got a lot to prove to me. I want to believe our connection's real, but I have been hurt before. Literally. With a katana. A katana that I now wield, in spectral form. You feel me? Because you will feel me, if you try any of that macho trapper crap. Yeah, I feel you. Before you cast flat out to clarify, I'll just let you know that yes, it's too late to change your answer now. You and Spirit arrive at the coast, overlooking the Black Lighthouse. It's old and decrepit, but still impressive. There's something magnetic about it. You can see why Spirit would be drawn to such a place. You look Spirit up and down and notice she's wearing all black, just like the lighthouse. I'm noticing a bit of theme. Is black your favorite color? Black isn't really a color at all. It's the absence of color. It's a void. Like me. Spirit smiles. Nature abhors a vacuum. You're not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The lapping waves of the shore of the coast set a romantic tone. The fog that surrounds Spirit everywhere she goes blends perfectly with the mist rolling up the rocky shoreline. She's at one with this place, and so are you. The peace doesn't last too long, however, as the lighthouse lets out an eerie howl like a monster dying. A spiraling black light stretches out across the sky. Spirit has to yell at you just to be heard. Oh yeah, it does that. The light and sound recede and the two of you sit in silence. Spirit lays down a towel and then pats it gently. Clearly she wants you to your company, so you oblige. When you do, she takes out some sunscreen and hands it to you. You're not exactly sure what to do. Is this an invitation to get a little hands-on action? What else could it be? Now we're talking. Where should I start? Your back? They always start there in the movies. Whoa, Slayer, slowly your roll. She doesn't actually need help reaching her. Have you noticed her hands float in the air? I'm good. The lotion's for you. You need any help reaching those difficult spots? You see a hand floating around your back. Sure, why not? You watch as Spirit applies the sunscreen to So, if you don't mind, what's with the deal with all the shards of glass sticking out from all over your body? You really want to know? You're not creeped out by them? You're not creeped out, just nervous because, you know, the answer might be very personal, but she's a person you want to get to know. I was just thinking about what must have gone through to end up like that. It must have been horrible. It was worse than death. At least death ends eventually. But I wouldn't want to forget it. It literally made me who I am now. Truth is, I could pull all these bits of glass that are stuck in my flesh out right now if I wanted to. But I don't want to. Each shard is a reminder of what my father did to me, and what the world did to him. That's why I refuse to play the universe's game. I hate the idea that he forced us to come to pressure the way he did in the end. The way that fear and anger filled him up came bursting out, the way his misery flooded our home and drowned us all. Yeesh. It's hard not to think about revenge. The dragon inside me, it's doing to me what the world did to him. I have to fight it. Even though it gives me strength, I must maintain control. You're stronger than he ever was, I'm sure of it. I appreciate that. I suppose that a little help isn't a bad thing. In life, in love. This world's a lot to endure alone. Maybe I could use a little assistant reaching my delicate toes for a bit of lotion. You know, having your body contorted into those vengeful poses really doesn't number my joints. Oh boy. Oh, we missed. Well, I suppose the lotion where it was going to eventually, and you weren't too incredibly wasteful. I'm not a woman who believes in rushing things just to get them done. If there's a next time, I'm sure you'll do better. You look up at the lighthouse, its ominous dark form hovering above the smoke from Spirit and yourself. Evil as it clearly is, it does you a solid by blurring out another ominous moan and bursts out a black light that rescues you from the awkward silence. From seemingly out of nowhere, an ancient-looking ship appears in the water. It glows itself a thing of death, a spirit ship that once sailed the seas centuries ago. A tattered black flag whips in the ocean air as it careens up towards the shore. Before crashing onto the rocks, it must have been drawn in by the lighthouse. You hear the distant shouting of sailors as the old wooden ship breaks and sinks into the water. Oh, right. It does that sometimes too. Should we, do something? Nah, the sharks will take care of it. Within a minute, the ocean's quiet again except for the waves. Note self-hungry sharks. But these time-traveling parrots, or whoever they are, you were half sure that you saw one of the skull and crossbone flags. Alright, the ones drawn here today. It's Wraith! He's emerged from the palm trees behind you. I didn't come here to break up your date or something. I came here for that. Wraith points to the lighthouse. It is indifferent to his attention. I've been seeing it in my dreams, shining its strange light on me. I can't avoid it from woods and walls. Nothing seems to stop it from reaching out to me. Duh, it's a haunted lighthouse. It does that to everyone at some point. You're no more special than me. Those dead pirates or that mermaid I saw wash up on shore that one time. Ew. Mermaids, by the way, aren't even close as beautiful in person as they are in movies. More sea witch than underwater princess if you get my drift. It's all part of a vast conspiracy, epic river of lies that runs beneath the island, or something. And I'm pretty sure I figured it out, the basics anyway. If you come with me, you can get cut. Spirit waves her katana, nearly trimming a couple buttons off Wraith's tropical top. He takes the hint and backs away a few steps slowly. For the quiet guy who never really shuts up. Okay, be that way, you'll see. Alone at last, tension broken, deadly moans quiet, Wraith bows to wherever he hangs out. You scooch closer to Spirit beneath the damp foggy air that seems to emanate from her. It's not quite clear how that whole thought moves, but you don't even care you're feeling this moment. Spirit seems to be feeling it too. She starts to adjust her robe, and you get a peek at the bathing suit beneath. For someone who seems intent on proving how little she cares about what everyone else thinks, she puts a lot of work into getting you to that suit. It's got straps for days. However, you're so focused on with Spirit, you don't see the next interruption coming. And Claudette and Dwight burst onto you to interrupt whatever you're doing. It doesn't seem like they were worried they'd bump into much. We're here to make a very dramatic announcement! Well, technically, we're here to invite you to join us back at the beach. We will be making a very dramatic announcement. It's hard being the producers and the hosts. Aren't survivors supposed to work in groups of 4? When you arrive at the beach, you realize you were set up. Despite promising an announcement, Dwight and Claudette simply stand quietly. This isn't all what was promised. Wait a moment, there's no announcement here. But there is a me! You got one of yours, friend? I told you to get lost. Don't you see? Lost is what I am, and so are you. But I know the way out, and I've got a map to my secret lair, literally and figuratively. Yeah, I know the difference. That's why you should ditch Spirit and come spend the rest of the night with me instead. Yeah, secret lair? Damn it! Who said anything about a secret lair? I said I've got, sap! In my secret hair? There's a flap on my secret chair? Don't change the subject! Don't ask me what he's talking about. You're trying to make a best of the first nice day of hiding. I don't know how long it's been because I've never cleared what year it is, but in a while. I'm not about to be ditched like for the likes of you. It's not me messing things up, like I keep trying to tell you, it's this dang island. I've come to accept the difficult truth what's happening here. Well, I'm convinced that it's our fate. It's not anyone's decision, it's simply the way it will be. There's no use fighting it. What would you even know about fighting it? All you know is hiding your spooky little secret hair and crying like a baby while ringing your bell. So don't tell me what I can and can't fight back against. I was born a fighter. A dragon lives inside me. I cannot fight, even when all I might want to do is hide. Do you see this giant hat? It's a metaphor! I do have a fate. My fate is to win every fight that comes my way. Got it? Folks. Oh, you hide. I've seen you hide. You do your little phase walking routine. What do you call that? It's basically cloaking. And we all know cloaking is a type of hiding. Folks. You cloak, I don't cloak. I'm not a cloaker. I phase walk out in the open. You just can't see me. You have no idea what they're talking about, but this sure seems like some video game community forum thread minutia if there was ever such a thing. Not that you know about that either. It sure doesn't seem Dwight and Claudette are going to stop this, so it's all on you. I think I was right here to make the choice, so I'm going to do that now. And I choose... When it comes to her, none of these seem to be easy to love, but damn, Spirit literally has broken glass shards sticking out of her, but she has a certain charm to her gloom. Spirit and I were actually having a nice time. Besides, it's my fate to end up on this line, well, to hell with fate, really. I don't take this the wrong way, but the amount of awkwardness you pack into a single day, no wonder you're so skinny, and all that second guessing of yourself, you must burn a lot of calories. No offense taken, it's... Yeah, okay, it's true. I can be a little awkward, I guess. Sometimes. Right, so I'm going to stick with Spirit. Spirit breathes a sigh of relief. I've got enough revenging to do without having to kill you and Reef too. Spirit walks with you a corner of something that she discovered in this place and knew what was meant to be connected with her journey, a cherry tree. It's just a small sapling that's begun to sprout flowers. It doesn't make sense to see a cherry tree here in this place. It also doesn't make sense to see a ghost in a black bathing suit, so you just accept it. As Spirit steps up to a tree, a cold breeze pulls some of the petals away, and they come off cascading through the air and around both of you. Do you know the meaning of the cherry blossom? They're beautiful, but also quite symbolic. Of course, like all good symbols, their meaning is pretty complicated. What do they mean to you? For many people, being among cherry blossoms is being a celebration of life. People travel great distances just to be near their vibrant beauty. However, as beautiful as they may be, they aren't magical. They're simply flowers. They quickly die and fade away, and for this reason they're also a symbol of the fleeting nature of life, of our fragile mortality. In a way, it's the specter of looming death that calls attention to this special moment, to see and appreciate life. How does that duality make you feel? As you look in the tree and consider Spirit's question, you reflect on your own current predicament, stranded here, no understanding of why, no control. The beauty of this island, the attention of such an interesting companion, it should bring you joy, but it comes at the price of being completely confused and hopeless. You look down and see a piece of crumbling cherry blossom on the ground at your feet. As you stare at it, something begins to rage inside you, like a dragon. How can anyone find comfort even for a moment with death and decay looming on the horizon? It makes me so frustrated. It makes me so mad. I want to do something about it. I want to strike back against this shitty reality. Spirit lets you go, staying calm despite your bubbling rage. You must know thoughts like this. Is that what she asked you? So that you'd see things from her point of view? I want to be alive! You feel connected to her at this moment more than at any point before. You wonder, does she feel the same? Once, the fallen cherry blossoms represented the souls of samurai warriors. Those with noble characters, those who did not fear death, those who were killed in brave sacrifice to honor their emperor. Their lives were short, but their purpose gave them beauty. Those warriors saw death coming, but they never despaired. They stood and faced it. They held their swords and struck down their enemy. But despite the samurai spirit that lives on me and my noble bloodline, my life has ended, but my death continues to stretch on. The cycle is frozen. This cherry tree, it's not real. Though its petals fall, they'll soon replenish as if it were installed here by someone. You watch a spirit chooses her words very carefully. By something with no respect for the balance of life and death. We're sorry to interrupt. You know we don't believe you, right? Yep, but this time we've got a really good reason. And it has nothing to do with us being manipulated by an unseen force, but because that's definitely not happening. Nobody accused you of that, but okay. We're just here to tell you it's time for dinner. Get it while it's hot. I guess it's time to go, or whatever. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I enjoyed it. Me too. What a fun day. If I'm dining solo, I'm eating what I want, and you're all eating it too. Lamb shank, rare, salt, pepper, no sauce allowed, and one single piece of broccoli so Ray can't complain. I like broccoli. Gives me horrible gas. Oh, I don't like that. But wait until you smell what rare lamb does to my bowels. It's awesome. The dinner will be served shortly, but certain power brokers would like to know about your day. Would you like to share the day with the rest of the group? Okay, but don't sit there nothing. Let's just be coy. It wasn't really a date, more like two people avoiding everyone else and choosing to be alone. It was really close, relatively close proximity. Well, no. That's exactly right. I cannot set anything value myself. Spirit's clearly happy with how you portrayed the date. No surprise, she doesn't like people getting into her business. Dwight and Claudette bring out dinner. Everyone eats in silence. No one trusts anyone now, and they're all very tired. That's like that super bony appetit. Oh boy. What would you like to say to the servants? Is there anything else we can do for you? Anything at all? Anything? A manners book, perhaps? It's fine, we're used to this kind of shabby treatment here on Jerk Island. Everyone, if you would like to be so kind, we've been told something big's gonna happen. Something that will change everything. You can go willingly or unwillingly. You have no choice. Tough cookies. Yes, and I immediately regret how it did. Everyone starts moving to the fire pit. You take a seat on a comfortable log, and now it's time for us to... Will the narrator tell us story? He's like, hey, are you allowed to... That doesn't seem fair. Nothing happens. Oh, cool, now everyone's looking at you, so you know, you gotta do something. First, should we play charades? Boggle? No, boy. He's not supposed to hear him. I'd rather not. Why? Do you have something to hide? You're telling us you don't have a single story in your entire life? So sad. Truly humanity reached its crumbling midair. I just want to hear your voice. Why are you being like this? Because you're all much better storytellers than I. Look at you, wooing everyone without offending one. The killer's blustered, except for Spirit. She sees through you. Sorry. Okay, that was not a very good story. I didn't mean to insult you, but it's actually quite bad. The narrator keeps it real. I suppose I could tell a story. I don't really want to, but I'm sure anything would be better than anyone else's group. Like all good stories, I stole this one from someone in the past who's dead, and now can't do anything about it. It's called The Bride, or technically The Fiancé. One winter, a young couple decided that next spring they would be married. The two were madly in love and could not wait for the snow to melt, so they joined in matrimony to unite their souls for eternity. Per the latest bridal trends, they decided to have their wedding ceremony at the edge of the woods by a beautiful shabby chic farmhouse. Together, they spent months planning details of the wedding. The two created invitations, figuring out seating arrangements, and tasted 100 cakes before settling on the perfect one. They chose Lillicoy, by the way. So fancy. When it comes to figure out the decoration tower, the bride, or the fiancé, I guess, since she wasn't actually married yet, wanted to take the lead and set the style. After all, her boyfriend had been wearing cargo pants and open-toed sandals, for pretty much their entire relationship. So he was definitely not to be trusted. Having decided on such a lovely natural setting for the ceremony, the fiancé decided that she would create unique floral arrangements from the local wildflowers that surrounded the farmhouse. As soon as the sun rose on the very first day of the spring, she set off into the woods. Each day she spent out hours mapping where the best plumes would be found and prepared to pick them herself for the best from the morning of the wedding. So that way they would be at the height of their freshness and beauty. Enamored with the incredible variety of flowers in the woods she surveyed, the bride, or the fiancé, since they had not yet been married, became obsessed with just knowing how many were there so she could choose the absolute best. When the fateful morning of her big day came, the fiancé told her husband-to-be that she had one final errand before her wedding. Excited for the ceremony to come, she dressed in the beautiful white gown and set off into the woods to gather flowers. Treading carefully, she followed her route, selecting only the best stems and collecting them in a basket. However, when she came across one familiar clearing, something was not as expected. Somehow, it was more beautiful now than ever before. And just on the edge of view, a new brush filled with vibrant and words. Just on the edge of her view was a new bush filled with blossoms so vibrant and colorful, she became dizzy just looking at them. But the fiancé ignored her sudden spell and pressed ahead, scooping up flower after flower, and every time that she did, she just noticed further ahead even more beautiful blossoms. Carried with the sweet fragrance of the spirit, the bride, or the fiancé, crept further into the woods until she turned around the corner, stepped on a mossy fallen trunk, and realized she had been here before. But this wasn't the clearing she remembered, or at least not how she remembered it. The flowers were suddenly overripe, decaying from their stems on the floor. Where bees had been now, only flies buzzed. Where the seeds of flowers once intoxicated her, the odor of mildew made her sick. She turned around and looked back, but the path was dark. Into a shadowy glen, she walked and walked and walked. That day, as guests gathered at the farmhouse, the fiancé was nowhere to be seen. Her friends and family in love began to look for her, but to no avail. They searched the pasture, the treeline, and into the forest, but there was no beautiful wildflowers or young lovers to be seen. Just old dead trees, trampled vines, and moss-covered rocks. The fiancé stayed a fiancé for eternity, always wandering, looking for fresher blooms to clip, but never finding them. Distracted by a never-ending search for perfection, unable to see that you are loved for who you are. Out there all alone. I thought it was beautiful and sad. Just like someone now. That was story time! Alright. We're actually, Alright, it's time to actually, Alright, time to go to Spirit. Spirit? Oh, you picked me. Yay. Sorry, that was rude of me. I despise filming this, so I should be honest with you. You make for interesting company, and I love the idea of winning over all these other killers at all costs. Even I hate the game and the prize, but I had a long day. floating, subverting expectations, gritting my teeth as I imagine sweet, sweet revenge. It takes a lot out of me. So don't stop bringing your A game. Alright? It might seem like I hate everything, and getting really to know who I am is impossible past not worth trying, but too bad. You won't know unless you search deep inside yourself and bring everything you got. Or just say the exact right thing at the right time and melt my cold heart and innocence. I don't know, the rules here are even better than you do. See you at the bar, I guess. You arrive at the bar to see Dwight and Clara holding cocktail shakers surrounded by a bevy of bottles of assorted boozes. Who's ready to get wasted? As you know, I don't drink, so not me. Unless you mean wasted as in killed, in which case, Dad, if you are out there, somewhere I will find you and waste you for what you done to me. You really don't drink? Ever? Is that like, because it's will fall out of a hole of your stomach thing, or... I don't drink alcohol because alcohol's poison the body of the mind, and I don't need to act like a fool to have a good time thing. Then why did you choose the mixology lesson as your romantic nighttime activity? Everyone knows this kind of date's just an excuse to get loaded on booze and make terrible decisions. It's true, not a single person has learned anything at one of these things. Dwight, now that's not true. You learned how to tie a cherry knot in STEM music, only your tongue. Whoa, who ordered the soda with splash of my private business because that's off menu? Well, I know what I'm drinking to forget tonight. Mixology's a real thing. It doesn't require alcohol to be interesting. I'll have you all know that I worked at a restaurant before I was violently executed. By your father, on whom you will have your bloody vengeance. Right, so be it. How about you? Do you drink? I've got the impression that tonight will be a one to remember perfectly, so I'm gonna pass on the alcoholic drinks. Here. Alcohol is a false escape. Besides, it's not like sober people can't have fun. You watch a spear picks up a plum cherry and roughly stabs it with a little plastic sword through it. Cherry juice splatters everywhere as little fruity cuts flap out into Spirit's lap. Oopsie. One of the upsets of wearing black, it hardly shed stains. No take backsies. So, lovebirds, what shall we make? We're making a dark and stormy. How about a dark and stormy drink for my dark and stormy date? Okay, that one is cute. Please, allow us to just demonstrate how a dark and stormy is made. First, rum, or in this case, rum extract, and a bit of apple juice is poured over ice. And then fresh ginger beer is added in. Garnish with the lime wheel. And drink. The end. Do you think you're up for challenging replicating this recipe? Rum substitute and ginger beer over ice. Don't forget the lime wheel! Rum substitute and ginger beer over ice. With the lime wheel. Not sure I appreciate your tone, but yes, you got it. You're natural. A sassy natural. You and Dwight have more in common than... Don't you dare. Spirit seems to be loving Lou. She slips her dark and stormy. She's not even rolling her eyes at your petty behavior. On cue, a little dark storm makes its way through the ocean. You taste your own dark and stormy as you watch the cloud spurts. It's quite refreshing. Isn't this fun? Honestly, it's the most drama-free fun I've had since I got here. And since you picked a simple but delicious drink, we've got plenty of time to relax. Want to make out a little? You breathed the sip of your drink and begin coughing before you could get a yes out. Lightning strikes on a palm tree and immediately starts a fire. The activity ends abruptly as Claudette and Dwight usher the two of you away from the bar. Alright, it's time for the decision. It's time to actually, who's ready for a round robin? Not to eat, Huntress. 2 minutes about the dream date. Alright, time for Trapper to, tell us something. He wants us to actually be rewarded and actually, have a secret, Alright, Huntress wants to take us on the yacht. And of course, Trapper doesn't like that. And also the treasure hunt. Alright. Alright, Rafe wants to find his bell. Tomorrow you will spit in the face of God, die, and be reborn anew. That's it? If you're not intrigued by that, I don't know what you do. Go draw crayon on art with Trapper, or dig up whatever mysteries with Rafe. I don't care what those guys do all day. Do you want to at least specify which god you'll be spitting in the face of? All of them! Okay then, so hydrate tonight if you intend to hang out with Spirit. And time's up! Now go dream about the swoon-worthy officer, ready to make a choice become dawn. Have a swell night! Did you two forget to mention something? There's one thing left to do. No reality survival day competition parody will complete without singling one of our contestants who's already teetering on an edge of psychological break. And giving them a little push. Oh boy. Welcome to Murderer's Island! It's now time to eliminate one of the killers! Oof, it's like butchering, but it hurts even worse. Tomorrow, one of these sexy slicers will not be eligible to take you on a date. Who's it gonna be? Because it's dramatic, because it's surprising. It's a class reversal of fate, and it'll hurt somebody's feelings, someone dangerous. Okay. Sorry, Rafe, goodbye. Look, I'm here and I'm horny. I'm not getting positive reinforcement from you, Rafey Poo. Please don't take it personally. It's just my opinion of you and who you are and what you've been deep down as a person and how I don't like it. Like, give me something, you know, a kiss, a wink, hold my hand, finish telling me about this mysterious stuff you're obsessed with. Or better yet, don't. Wraith rises taller than you've ever seen him and he calmly walks to the exit. Before he leaves, he turns to you. When you came here, perhaps that you would be different. I don't know how my last bit of hope in you has been stuffed out, but it wasn't. It is now. You are just like the rest of them. There is no hope of goodness here. The only thing I can try to do is escape. Or burn everything and everyone to the ground. He leaves. Pretty badass exit. Was not expecting that. Alright, time for sleep. It's time for the consolation prize. The Trickster Body Pillow. Dwight tested. Claudette approved. Sleep well. Alright. What a crazy way to end the day. We'll see how things go tomorrow, I suppose. I'm not expecting anything. I tend to shut my mind off during hard times. I know I seem excited and devilment care, but the truth is I'm a pessimist at heart. That tends to happen when your mother is skewered by now. Yeah, how'd you know? I know I said things when like into the curb, and I just want to say I'm embarrassed for how I acted. Not what I said though. I stand by it. I want everyone here to burn. How I say things are going, it's a matter of perspective. If Light's goal to impress me, things are going poorly. If Light's goal to get themselves killed, they're doing an amazing job. Of course, Light's into me. Why wouldn't they be? Thoughtful, beautiful, surrounded by a calming mist. I've also got great hair, and since I'm technically dead, I'm extremely low maintenance. Look, I don't need to throw the term anime waifu around too often, but if the body pillow fits, snuggle it, you know what I mean? You don't get a confessional, but everyone gets a confessional here. Ghostface. Come on! Whatever, I don't care. I'm the trickster. See you around. You do? Oh boy, it's like confessional for literally every character. I've got something to confess. Watching Wraith get eliminated was the first time in an ending spiral staircase of pain that my life has ever felt a modicum of joy. It's time for everyone to go to bed. You let the camera roll up, and it's time for us to get ready for tomorrow. What's that? You don't know about the killer crabs? Oh, you didn't go on that hunter state. You missed out on that. It was thrilling, or I guess it would have been. You'll have to play again to get that reference. Someone's in love. It's time! It's time to actually have our date. A little birdie told us someone has an extra strong crush on you. And another has been kind of a dick since you murdered. It's been quite the 48 hours, and now it's time to actually... Well, that's good, because I tried to make a rose, but I got an ouchie, so I settled for these. Beautiful. You've done good, Dwight. This is a lovely bouquet. You approach Spirit, peering below the brim of her impressively large hat and haunting eyes. Spirit, since I met you, I've been enchanted by your presence. You've challenged me to a better person and resisted the urge to show me the sharp end of your crown. For that, I thank you. I'm ready to take on a relationship to the next level. And we shall, up into the eye of the dark storm that is our reality, to the lantern room of the Black Lighthouse. It's time to see what you're made of. I thought it might be nice to start on Trapper's yacht before we head up to the Black Lighthouse. Even though I kind of hate this basic tropical vacation stuff like yachts and snorkeling or whatever, it's good for you to see me in the sun for a bit, at least. There's a little bit more than what you've already gotten to experience. I know that my whole vibe can be a little dark. The hat, the swimsuit, the plume of floating hair. That wasn't always who I was. I was a normal young woman once, who went to school, hung out with friends. I even had a part-time job working at a restaurant in town. And then, well, I know what happened. Your father, he murdered me and I woke up as an undead adventurer. That's not what I'm getting at. Something else has happened to me. I realize I need to be seen. I don't even know by whom. A lot of time. When you think about ghosts, they're these kind of see-through, flickering specters. You imagine reaching out and having your hand go right through them. Ooh, I like that sort of thing. Maybe there's some warpy effect on this world around you. I don't know, it depends on what movie you're watching. But when I died, well, I dared you try to reach your hand through me. Not really, that's not an invitation, it's rhetorical. Why did I end up this way? Who brought me here to this island? Who knows, I sure don't. I've got my ideas. Maybe what happened, if I'm being honest. Maybe I was granted a wish. Maybe this is me finally being something to someone. Something scary, something violent, something weird. But without a doubt, something. Maybe whoever or whatever did this to me thought they were doing me a favor. And maybe, last maybe coming up, I promise, maybe they were right. Maybe, look at me, you got me doing it. Maybe they brought me to you? Something certainly brought us together. But I'm not exactly out there digging around in caves or dusting up antiques trying to find clues and analyze their meanings. I do want to take this experience seriously, though. I want to give the process a chance. It may be a dumb process, and one that I have extremely little respect for as a person. But as you just woke up on this beach with no memory of who you are, where you came from, rather than freak out and simply try to swim away, give me this a chance. I actually didn't know that swimming away was an option. It's not. However, the fact you never even tried, I think that means you got courage. Or an open mind. Or, I don't know, you maybe stuck around. Because you liked someone you met. Maybe. While two of you were getting all deep and philosophically flirty, the yacht pulled up to the shore next to the Black Lighthouse. Last stop! Everyone off! There were other stops? Oh no, not of this trip. Of your life! Spirit rolls her eyes and leaves for the shore. I'm just messing with you. This was the only stop. No one here is really looking out for our fun, so we have to make it for ourselves. But no, there are no other stops. Seriously, go. Race you to the poop deck, Dwight! The ship doesn't even have a poop deck. Oh, it will! As you disembark, you see Dwight and Claudette running giggling across the strip. Too bad you can't date those two. They seem like they know how to have a good time. You arrive at the beach near the majestic Black Lighthouse. Its imposing form towers over you. A flock of birds circles lazily, no sense of fear of urgency, as if circling for a corpse that hasn't moved in ages. I'm excited about today. See? Spirit places her wrist delicately in your hand and presses your fingers down against your skin. It's cool to the touch, but you feel... Is that the faintest of pulses? My blood is absolutely pumping. So, what happens now? Now, I show you something that no one's ever seen up close before. Well, no one who has lived to tell about it. We're going. There. Spirit points to the top of the lighthouse amongst the circling birds. What's actually up there? Have you seen it? Hey y'all, how's everyone's doing today? Certainly it seems to be taking the whole elimination thing well, or maybe this is the opposite of that. Better not bring that up and just hope that it doesn't completely melt down. Hi Wraith. You seem chipper today. Something strange is definitely going on with this guy. Well, something else strange. Something different than what's usually going on. Rafe takes a deep breath, sucking in the ocean air like it's the greatest air that he's ever been sucked. Like, thank you for choosing anyone else to go on a date with today. alone again forever. This is how I was meant to be. I feel alive. Are you done? We're kind of, on that date you just mentioned. I'm glad you're feeling better, but like you said, we're in the middle of something. You mind? Oh, right. So, what you doing? Heading up into the eye of the lighthouse? I love it up there. You really see the whole island from there. In fact, Spirit, I thought you said no one has been up there and lived to tell the tale. This sounds like someone exactly telling about it. Technically, I don't think Ray counts as being alive. I mean, I don't maintain the canon, but Spirit waves her arms as Ray from head to toe. And if he's not dead, he's gonna be when I punish him for interrupting our date. Hey now, can we solve our problems without our hair floating up into menacing shapes? I'll just be over here, running away, enjoy the view! I think Wraith was kidding about being the whole up there thing. Honestly, the view isn't even of the islands. What you can mostly see is ocean, on account of it being, a lighthouse. Honestly, that does bring up an interesting point. Regarding your... how do I say it? Spirit's hand floats up as she stretches her head contemplatively. You don't usually see her at loss for words like this. What's your mortal status? Because despite what our lanky friend seems to think, the lighthouse is not to be trifled with. It's a beacon of death and suffering that brings doom to it from all corners of the world, if not further. Well, duh, you just saw a freaking pirate ship seemingly travel through space and time only to crumble at the rocks beneath the spooky tower. Besides, you said not to point it out because it would be too romantic, now would it? I think I'm alive? I'm here with you, walking this beach, feeling the water on my feet, feeling the sun on my skin. Here, with me, the spirit. Does that really make you alive? I guess I don't know. If you come with me up into the eye of the Black Lighthouse and you never return, is that a risk you're willing to take? Because we have something, I won't deny it. I feel it. I hate for you simply to turn to ash. If we were to commit right up here and now to figuring this out as friends, we could put that risk off for another time. Just be friends? Ouch, is that her way of letting you down easy? I don't know if I want that friendship. I want you. That's why I chose you. I can't decide this for you. I can only warn you that it might not be safe. You might die up there, and there's nothing I can do about it. You take a deep breath and think of every particle of sea air that travels through your body and moves. It may be the last time you have such a thought, but you feel strangely at peace with that information. I don't need another friend. I want something more. It hurts my lifeblood. Spirit smiles quickly, quirky, a devilish smile. Right this way. Inside the lighthouse, it's almost pitch black. It was seemingly day when you stepped through the door, but inside it's like a void. The last thing you see is the final rays of the sun leaving you is a horrible sight. A petrified body laying up the stairs, reaching not up but down, as if it had been crawling. Watch your step. The things we do for love. When you arrive at the lantern room at the top of the Black Lighthouse, you breathe a sigh of relief. The light is out and seemingly defunct. Dust cakes the room as if it hasn't been operated in a century. However, somehow... It's just morning a moment ago, but now it's night? What do you mean, a moment ago? We've been standing out here over the ocean all day. I really enjoyed the peaceful time together with you, taking the view, staying in complete silence for hours. It was kind of my perfect date. Really? I don't remember that. I just called it the perfect date and you can't be bothered to remember it? What kind of game are you playing with me? I want to remember it, it's just that for some reason it's completely didn't. But hey, I'm not dead. Or you're already dead and have been this whole time. That's true. Maybe we'll never know? It doesn't look like the light's working. Even turned off, the light has a power to it. The massive lens reflects moonlight through itself. A subtle sparkle that has a hypnotic effect. Maybe that's where the day went? Staring into this light as the sun fell and the moon rose. Thanks for spending the day with me. I had a really good time. That's it? Don't get me wrong, this is really cool and all. I guess I don't know what I expected. I suppose if you thought you were walking to your death and nothing happened, it might feel a bit anticlimactic. Sorry. Anyhow, it's time to go. Here, let me just flip on the light over the staircase so it's easier to get down. The stairs still look pretty dark. Maybe it... Spirit is then interrupted by a strange hum, and then it becomes frighteningly clear that you switched wasn't for the stairs, it was for the main lantern, a lantern that's now beginning to power up. The faintest smell of burning begins to reach up your nose. Oopsie, maybe that switch wasn't for the stair lights after all. Now we see who's really alive and who's really dead, I suppose. It was bound to happen sooner or later. You slam your eyes closed, hoping that somehow not looking at the light itself will protect you. Not sure if I see the logic in that, but if it is magic, it kinda defies logic. I want to see it, but, well, I'm a little scared. Don't look directly into the light. Open your eyes and look on me, and I'll keep you safe. Perfect. Oh boy. You're doing it! We're here together, awash in this incredible light. You're so brave! I feel seen by you. Truly seen by anyone for the first time in my life. This is our destiny, to be together, brought together by the darkness, brought towards the light. Despite your attempt to resist it, the incredible force of energy from the Black Lighthouse Lantern refuses to subside. No, and it can't be ignored, and it doesn't matter if you look directly at it or not. In the end, that was just a trivial game. This is real life, and real magic. You stare at it now, and its power penetrates your mind. Hey, been a while. How are things? Doing good? Feeling more dead or more alive? Yeah, love will do that to a person. Don't worry, it'll make sense soon. You woke up to hear Spirit's muffled voice. You got a terrible taste in your mouth, like burnt hair. The air feels damp and smells like ash. It takes time for the sound to clear up, but eventually Spirit's words start to make sense to you. However, it's clear she's talking to someone else and not you. You know how sometimes people say, it's not you, it's me. Well, this time it's you, and it's also me. I can't believe I thought you would change for me. I can't believe I thought you were doing was a sacrifice. You never gave anything up for me. Well, today I saw what love looks like, and it looks like a whole lot different than this. I don't think you're hearing me, which is weird because I'm practically shouting. Nobody breaks up with the Trapper. Nobody. Oh yeah, fine. Nobody breaks up with the Trapper, but I'm not doing that. I'm dumping. Don't you say it. I'm dumping Evan Macmillan, and there's nothing you or he can do about it. It's over between us, Evan. Rin, Trapper turns to the Spirit and looks directly at you. You realize you're running out the ground in some weird tunnel. I think your shouting woke up late. My shouting? I'm sorry, I think I interrupted something very personal and quite scary. I swear I wasn't trying to listen in, but I heard a lot. Probably not everything. I think I woke up in the middle. What did you hear? Just you dumping Trapper? We were never together. I mean, we were together. Wink, wink, wink. I know you're wearing a mask, but we can see your eyes. You don't really need to say wink, wink, wink out loud. Another reason why I have a right to have dumped you. You did not. It was mutual. The jig is, as they say, up. They know you're awake now, and you're going to have to deal with this awkward situation head on. Clearly, I shouldn't be here. You two have a very personal conversation that I don't need to be involved in. I don't even know how I got here, not on this island or in this creepy tunnel. As far as this island goes, your guess is as good as mine. As far as this tunnel goes, we brought you here. We? You and Trapper, but... After the lighthouse light came on, you blacked out. On your way down, I thought you might have hit your head or something. It's hard to tell what's blood's new or old around here. Either way, I wanted to get you someplace safe, so I asked Trapper for help. It's not that I can carry you, it's just I didn't feel like it, you know? I hate anything messing with my shards. Trapper, on the other hand, he wants nothing but having an unconscious body draped over his shoulder. I could have asked Claudette or Dwight for help, but I don't trust them. Do you trust Trapper? Like and trust are two different things. You might think Trapper can be a real jerk, and you'd be right, but you get what you see with them. We brought you down here because we're the only ones who know about this place. It's part of an old tunnel network that connects different places on the island. What's up, guys? Talking on Island Mysteries? My favorite topic was just in the fruit, so I thought I'd pop in. Trapper, you said this place was private. Don't look at me, I did tell him about it. Half the appeal of this boat is getting away from people like him. Well, geez, I can see when I'm not wanted. So, you three a throuple now, or... Because I gotta say, I don't really get the whole Trapper Spirit thing, but hey, it's not my business, I don't stick my nose in it. We were not a thing! Nobody traps the Trapper, not with traps or relationships! And you do realize you're sticking your nose in our business now, right? Wow, so hostile. If you don't want to talk about it, just say so. Anyhow, this tunnel has some very interesting features. If you head about 50 meters down that way, you'll find... Get out! Wraith looks around just to be doubly sure that Trevor is a destiny now. I was just leaving. The island. It's a lonely place, which is great for me. I love to be alone. Trapper, on the other hand, is quite needy. And after a lot of pursuit, I finally had him catch up to me, and it became, well, I don't want to call it a relationship because somebody really didn't want to have that talk. But we were more than friends. I dispute the events told. For the record, I don't pursue. I stalk and lie in wait. Seeing eye to eye was not one of the things we were good at. So, I hate to ask, but I just look in the refrigerator-sized death lamp, so I'm guessing more of a glutton for punishment than I thought. What were you good at? Well, for starters... Excuse me, I'll take that question. Thank you very much. If you know anything about, or it's that I'm on a quest. For revenge. Exactly. What you might not know, Trapper is like a great classical maestro of revenge. Trapper blushes behind the mask. That's one way to compliment a killer. Revenge against friends who had turned their backs and betrayed him. Revenge against his father, for making him into a monster. Revenge against the barista who wrote Ewan on his cappuccino, knowing his actual name was Evan. There's so many things about revenge as much as I do. Trapper's an inspiration. But they say to never date your heroes. Good advice, but I don't think that's a saying. And then you came along. You showed me that it's okay to be lost, to feel pathetic, to push on when you have nothing real to offer anyone. I'm not sure where you got all that from, but okay. You held the mirror up to hold my own doubts and fears and show me that they aren't everything about me, that I can embrace those things but not be defined by them. You showed me that life after death can be more than just an obsession with revenge and mind-blowing sex on the ground, in a dark cave or a dusty old tunnel. Trapper nudges you in the ribs with his elbow. Gross. Clearly appealing to Trapper's better features, he's been a winning strategy for dumping his ass. I guess he seems to be taking it quite well. This whole half-assed dating show parody thing, at first I obviously thought it was a lame idea. What kind of moron thought there was an audience for this? But then we spent some time together and I realized there's something actually real here. And I don't want to give up on it. I don't want it to give up on us. Listen, while we knocked you unconscious by some minor head trauma like a total weakling, Spirit confided in me she has real feelings in you. I took it extremely well naturally because I trusted her value and her opinions. That doesn't mean I trust you. If you want to get to her, you have to get to me first. By passing Trapper's Test, trademark, coming to BHVR TV, Sundays at 8 p.m. Welcome to Trapper's Test. Answers my questions correctly or die by my blade. Question 1. What is Spirit's real name? The one given to her by Mur's father, who she only ever little friends call her. Rin Yamaoka. Okay, you got that one. Don't celebrate yet. Question 2. What lives inside Spirit? Sure, everyone knows that they won't all be this easy. Question 3. Where did Spirit work when she was a normal college girl before she was hellbent on revenge? I know, to think I would date a waitress. Don't tell my father I ever mingled with the help like that. He'd be so disappointed in me. Question 4. What's Spirit's favorite color? Are these questions largely superficial? Sure, maybe I didn't get to know Spirit that well, but that's what she told me. Maybe that's why it didn't work. Who knows? Question 5. The final question. You got this. According to Spirit, what's worse than being dead? If I have to guess, not being seen for who you are. When I pitched Trapper's Test to the suits at BHVR TV, they told me there was no room for budget for a new car to be given for the final person winning. So I killed them all right there on the spot. While killing them didn't solve any of the budget problems, it sure did feel good. I'm telling you this to A, to brag on, B, to explain why you're going to say, congratulations for passing Trapper's Test. Not that it was some huge challenge. I mean, the woman obsessed with a giant light that sheds in the dark. It's a chip on her shoulder for being seen? Go figure. You probably guessed, but rules are rules, even if they just literally out. You got it right. So I guess I approve of you dating Spirit or whatever. I never really cared about the first place. I was just hoping you'd slip and give me a good excuse to wet my blade with your blood. Maybe I'll find a reason tomorrow. For now, you two have fun. We Trapper out. I'm sorry you have to endure that. What? 5 easy questions? It was nothing. Not even that. As ridiculous as unnecessary it was, the whole thing. The waking up in a random tunnel, overhearing our argument, the news that Trapper I had something going on, and that stupid quiz. All of it. Especially that whole Trapper out catchphrase. It's only because I actually like you. None of it would have happened if I didn't. And I like you too, Spirit. Please, call me Rin. Rin. I didn't feel like our lighthouse experience was completed. There was something else I wanted to show you. Alone up in the lantern room of the tower. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's not that kind of game. It's that. Hold on a moment. I'm being told. No, wait. That is that kind of game. Disregard the gutter comment. Come back up there with me. There's no place I'd rather be. You're excited to return to the lantern room of this lighthouse, despite all the drama and worry that was previously part of this place to you. More importantly, you're excited to be there with Spirit, which makes it all the more crushing when you're interrupted by the arrival of Claudette and Dwight. Claudette, Dwight, funny seeing you here. Wait, did I say funny? I meant tragic. Tragic? I don't think so. What could be possible without a family reunion? Those are always joyous occasions in my experience. Before they can explain what's even supposed to mean, the lighthouse begins to howl a low, frightening sound. The lens begins to glow in a now familiar way. You prepare to shield your eyes in case something happens to you again. Now isn't the time for any reality show adjacent shenanigans. Dwight, Claudette, shield your eyes. We don't know what the lighthouse will... Now, please don't interrupt. You think after all this time you know we've got your best interest in mind? Wait, what? No, of course I don't think that. I got wax in your ears, friend? I asked you not to interrupt. Too late. The black light flares. In the darkness, you see something horrible and strange. In the place of Claudette and Dwight standing, there are two ghoulish silhouettes. But before you can focus on them, the light passes and the two survivors return to their normal states. It's breezy up here. I should have packed a sweater. What in the hairy hell? Hey, watch the language. You shouldn't speak that way. Around your elders. Holy crap, it's Oni! Grandpa? My little Rin! You're such a woman now. They grow up so fast. What? Like, meet Grandpa Kazan Yamaoka. Well, technically, not just Grandpa. Technically, he's my great-great-great-great-great-grandpa. But that's a lot of greats to say in a row. I haven't seen my little Rin since I watched over her from the afterlife when she was just a little girl. And I expect you to say all the greats. It's a matter of honor and respect. Except Rin, she can do whatever she wants. She's my precious little angel. But you only stares at you with his demonic red eyes. You're pretty sure even the decorative third eye in his mask is looking at you. You mongrel, you must treat me with respect, or so help me, I'll be cleaning bits off your head off a kanabo. A kanabo is like a metal baseball bat covered in spikes, FYI. I'm not sure what a peasant like you is doing so close to a descendant of the noble Yamaoka bloodline in the first place. There, Claudine, explain what's going on to me. It's Dwight, sir, and Claudette. Remember, we explained to you that we were going to come meet you with your great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter's suitor, and to give or withhold your approval. 5 greats! Great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, sir, your honor, master, sir. Dwight, he's a samurai, not a judge. Grandpa, they must have summoned you here because they made great judgment, and because if they summoned my father, I would be starting torturing him for all of eternity to continue with the rest of, whatever this is. Show? Game? Experience? Ah, yes, that makes sense. Only a man of my power, I'm not going to help. Self-important much? Nice to meet you, Kazan. Only my friends and family can call me Kazan. Those who tremble in my fear, my presence call me Oni. You're seeing a serious resemblance to Trevor, not only the sheer size of the man that Oni is, but also his attitude. Apparently, Spirit has a type. You sure you can, or want to, measure up to that? It dawns on you that, wait a second, maybe you do resemble Oni. Every time you try to look at your own reflection, however, you become dizzy and confused. This definitely deserves more thought, but now's not the time to consider the fact that you might be some kind of hulking vampire with the first ever case of self-blindness. There's a massive samurai mad dogging you from 2 steps away. Well, you don't scare me at all, so I'll stick with Kazan. Peasant! I realize now the true purpose of it is to extinguish your light. Only waves his katana at you in the air menacingly, like great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, like great-great-great-great-granddaughter, apparently. Hold it up there, Grandpops. Not so fast. You're only supposed to kill them if they deserve it. First, you should get to know them a little better. Young people these days always waiting to kill people instead of they must deserve it. Back in my day, you did what you need to be done because your nobility depended on it. In his day, for such an imposing presence, he's sure giving up serious old man yells at cloud vibes. You see, when I was a young man, we didn't have foreigners in our land. Didn't need them. We had abundance of culture already. A little too much. If you ask me, didn't make the rules. The rules did. Exactly how it should be. Literature, art, commerce, theater, fashion, poetry, puppet shows, ghost stories, courtesans, gambling, fighting, fine dining, fast food, public executions. What were we talking about? Spirit giggles at her great-great... okay, I'm not saying all those... every time at Oni's forgetfulness, you wonder. Does she even like this guy? She sure hates her father, so... Listen up, old man. We don't have the time to do a list of every activity available to a samurai in the entirety of the Edo period. Silence, peasant! You're showing ignorance. Samurai who forbade many activities didn't befit the Bushido code, such as attending certain theatrical performances, for instance. Sometimes, however, a samurai would put on disguise in order to seek out entertainment. Now, I'm not saying I did because I had honor. And that body built like an entire castle that is quite hard to hide. But you had neither my honor nor my physique. You don't even know about the ins and outs of shifting rules of traditional Japanese samurai etiquette. You fool! Rin, why would you want with such uneducated admirer such as this? You find it hard to believe that any contemporary person knows all that much about who was and wasn't allowed to do what leisure activities over 100 years ago. Oh, however, you are really and not sure how to handle this massive demonic old man. Oh, wait, I get it. Sweet Rin, my beautiful descendant, you've invited me here to do what you're too kind to do. Bash this jerk's head in! Claude, Doris, fetch my kanabo. Rin, wrap your robe around this mongrel's hands and hold them still. We'll splatter their brains on the bench, together as a family. Grandpa, no. That's not what I invited you here at all. I didn't invite you. Claudette and Dwight did. Haha, yes, sure, wink. This whole thing, wink out loud, is getting out of hand. Him and Trapper really do have a lot in common, do they? I swear, Light has a good soul. In the heart of a warrior, they fought for my love in their own way, faced down death more than once, and put up their fair share of nonsense. Nonsense which seems to be endless. Can we, I don't know, wrap this up already? Of course. Who am I to expect to wait around for my approval? I've only been hanging out as a ghost watching my bloodline be polluted by cowards and quitters for 5 generations. Just come give your ancestor-in-law a hug. Sword drawn only beckons you closer. There's no way you ever hugged anyone in this entire life. I think I'm good over here, actually. Right now, push them my way and I'll split them in half. The sacrifice of the usurpers of the Yamaoka bloodline will surely bring us back to life and set us back on the course of honor. You're so silly, Grandpa. We both know there were only one sacrifice to get our family back on track. Revenge on my father! Your great-great-great-great-grandson! Traitor to the Yamaoka name! The lust for violence in your voice. It appealed to me, Jim. I'll never forget who I am. I suppose if this is the person you want to be with to go on a journey of bloody revenge with, I should trust your judgment. The strength inside of you blooms from the same cherry tree that was planted centuries ago by our shared ancestors. And if life ever treats me poorly, you have my word on our family's honor. I will wield my katana and gut them like a fish. A tear rolls down from behind Oni's demonic mask. You sure you want to marry into this? And one less slave verse. The father stuff, don't forget it. But maybe stop focusing so specifically and obsessively on it. What he did, it was awful, but it was already done. Do something for yourself now. Just my 2 cents. Be well, Rin. I will see you again soon. Now let's go, servants. Flint, Denise, return me to the stables. I assume my dragon has been fed and tended to? Yes, sure. I swear, this is still better than dealing with Trapper's dad. I'm sorry if I was disrespectful of your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. He seemed like a very special man. I realize I will never measure up to someone like that. A warrior with hell fashion sense. I mean that mask. Don't worry. I would never expect you to, or want you to, really. All I wanted was the biggest brute alive. I'd be down in Trapper's cave right now avoiding his vintage bear traps. But that's not the life I've imagined for myself. This sense of abstract duty, anger at a world changing around me, a lust for blood, there's no way to live. And yet, as you now know, that is the Yamaoka way of life. Forever, I'm cursed to battle against the dragon that lives inside me. Or, at least, maybe I was until now. Call me the Dragon Tamer, baby. You haven't won this game yet. Please don't ruin it. Sorry, I have no idea where that came from. I think we spent enough time in this lantern room. We should go back to the beach. The moonlight sets a romantic mood. The storm clouds roll and surround the black lighthouse. You know, the sun might set, but if we wait long enough, it will rise again. Spirit removes her sheer robes, showing her black strappy black bikini. Her pale skin glows in the light of the moon. Maybe you can help get us tomorrow's sunscreen? Again? I mean, yeah, of course, but definitely feel more connected. But I really enjoyed it. I swear though, if you tell anyone this, I'll not be labeled as a foot freak. Not that there's anything wrong with me, it's just that some kind of talking. Yes! Almost. Close. Yes! Yes! God, that's so goddamn hot. I love feeling your hands sliding down my feet and between my toes. My skin's never been more moist. Get up here right now. Before you can find a towel to wipe up your lotion hands, Spirit grabs you and pulls you in close. Her lips lock into yours. They're surprisingly soft and warm. The sensation is incredible. Clouds cover the moon and you find yourself on the beach with Spirit in complete darkness. You can feel the narrow straps of her baby's come undone and come to life, sneaking through the air around, wrapping around, lifting you up your feet. Come here, you. So this is what it feels like to fly. As Spirit pulls you close, you feel pieces of glass press into your flesh. Pain and pleasure mix and wash over you like the ocean, salty air stinging as you writhe against your undead lover. The lighthouse howls. In the darkness, you're pretty sure that Spirit lets the dragon side of her take over. If it kills you, you're sure it would have been all worth it. The clouds part as you just managed to pull yourself exhausted away from Spirit. A chunk of broken glass is lodged. When you pick it up from your skin, it drips blood. Sorry, I think I got this stuck to me when I was having the best night of my life. Spirit drags her fingertip to the sharp edge of the glass shard. Keep it. Consider it a memento. I've got plenty more where that came from. Back on the beach, the other killers roll their eyes and you show up with Spirit, doing that couples thing where you walk in with each other's back pockets. You know it's obnoxious, but love will do that to a person. The last day, you beautiful piece of meat. You've done so well. We're almost at the finish line. You didn't think I brought you all this way without a plan, did you? What kind of sinister, bloody saltwater do you think I am? Light, Spirit, welcome back. Since you're both still alive, we can assume you had a good time. You point out to the many open wounds of your body, complete with bits of sand and dirt stuck in them. Yeah, you could say that. I think some of those might be infected. You should really get them checked out. If you're actually going through this, you should get them checked out. It's your head. I mean, friend, Spirit is absolutely nuts. You won't survive a week dating with her. Didn't you just give us her blessing like 3 seconds ago? You might think she's so sad and introspective, but in truth, she's a demon hell bent on revenge who will ultimately stop at nothing to satisfy the depth, the lust of death that courses through her veins. I can't get her out of my mind. I know all of that, and I think it's hot. She's the goth girlfriend of my dreams, and you're just jealous. You lost her, so you're trying to run me out of town. Well, guess what? I'm not scared with you. I'm with Ren now, and she's got my back. Literally, she carved her name in it with this piece of broken glass. Thank God it was only 3 letters wrong. Alright, we get it. Everyone is super tough, and all you do is kill, no matter what. But we've got a shoulda person. This is the finale, so we need you to hold it in for just a moment longer. After all, this is the point of this whole experience, to give even the most demented killers a chance at finding love. And it worked! To think my official bio called me distinctly below average. Well, look at me now. I'm about to officiate the wedding of 2 complete maniacs. Please, Spirit, take this bouquet and prepare your vows. As soon as you say both I do, we can send you off to an exclusive honeymoon. Hold up. Nobody is saying I do today. Yeah, nobody is... Wait, what? Marriage is an archaic social institution, put in place by men power thousands of years ago to maintain their control over the world. I'm not interested in playing their game. I'm not interested in doing what anyone tells me or living by any rules that I don't believe in deep down in my heart. In fact, now that I think about it, I don't remember being asked if I wanted to take part in this bootleg reality TV bullshit in the first place. Did anyone here to agree to this? I'm still not entirely sure what's going on. Spirit has manifested Katana, and the moment the mood changed from romantic climax to a place of terror. Whoa, we're all having fun here. If you just say I do, we can... I won't. With a slice of her head, Claudette is no more, replaced by 2 halves of Claudette, neither of which are especially alive. Dwight is horrified. There's a chance he actually wet himself. Luckily for him, Khaki has hid a lot of things. Unlucky for him, urine isn't one of them. Meanwhile, Trapper, Huntress, and Wraith are eating popcorn. Where did they get popcorn? You were under the impression that Claudette and Dwight did all the cooking around here, so... Sorry, now's not the time to think about who popped that popcorn and a gruesome murder just happened. This is for you. You know what to do. Spirit hands you your katana. You look at whimpering Dwight and feel like everyone's waiting for you to put him out of his misery. Look, we're on a very tight schedule. You respect schedules, right? If you kill me, I'm afraid what comes next, so I don't know, do you not? You think that back to that strange moment in the lantern room at the Black Lighthouse. When the light hit Dwight, there was something off about it. As if he wasn't real. Or at least not really human. But there is a good reason to do with him in with Spirit's katana? Or is that actually a reason not to kill him? This doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is taking control. Taking it away from them. taking it into your own hands and carving out a new destiny for yourself. Kill this pathetic worm. Kill him and join me on my mission. Together we will be unstoppable. That's quite an offer. What are you gonna do? You raise Spirit's katana, and with the ease of slicing a wedding cake, you cut him into two. His dead body slumps onto the ground in front of you. That was so incredibly sexy. Rin places her hands over yours and both hold your katana, fingers intertwined. You look to the other kills and see something new on their faces. Respect. You're one of them now. Ruthless, uncompromising, splattered with blood. A killer. My father is going to really crap his pants when he sees the two of us coming. Ooh. What are you waiting for, lover? You sit on the beach below the Black Lighthouse watching seagulls devour the liver of a dead pirate who has just washed up on shore. Just thinking about how much I love you, Ren. Well, stop thinking and show me. You think we'll ever leave this place? Or what do you care? I hope we don't. And that's it. We actually got the good ending, or well, the perfect ending for Spirit / Ren. So we actually managed to get... That was actually a lot longer than Trapper's. But that's another ending in the books. We will actually continue another time with our final contestant that we actually have to deal with, Wraith. So that's actually going to be it for another Hooked on You. Thank you everyone for tuning in or stopping on by or lurking. This is Light Brawler. We will actually continue having more stuff along the way. And I hope that you are having a fantastic day.